For more, let's speak to our correspondent in Brussels, Dave Keating, standing by. Hello to you, Dave. Tell us more about what the summit did regarding Ukraine.
Well, this was generally bad news for Ukraine on two fronts. One was that they did not manage to get a unanimous statement on Ukraine joining the EU. Their conclusions regarding Ukraine, which had a paragraph saying that Ukraine's destiny is to join the European Union and that they would move forward on accession, was not signed by Hungary's Viktor Orbán. So they could only adopt it as 26 out of the 27. That makes them not official conclusions. However, it doesn't really matter. These are just signals for the European Commission to act on. But it's a signal that Hungary will continue vetoing Ukraine's accession to the EU, and that accession cannot move forward if Hungary opposes it. The steps to move forward have to be unanimous. Now, yesterday, Viktor Orbán staged what election observers are calling effectively an unfair or rigged referendum, asking Hungarian citizens whether they wanted Ukraine to join the EU. It came overwhelmingly against. However, citizens received their ballot in the mail with instructions on how to vote against Ukraine joining the EU. So certainly the other leaders in that room, most of them at least, did not view that as a free and fair referendum. Separately, they were not able to agree on further sanctions against Russia because Slovakia's Robert Fico vetoed that. They were able to roll over the existing sanctions. There were some worries he might even block that. But on this 18th package of sanctions, Robert Fico vetoed, and so they have to keep working to convince him. He wants to see, he wants to take out sanctions against Russian energy, a complete ban on imports of Russian oil and gas, because Slovakia, the Slovakian government, is worried, A, that Russia will sue them if that goes forward, but B, that it will cause an energy crisis for them this winter. So overall, not a good sign for Ukraine here in Brussels yesterday.
Dave, another point of discussion, ongoing trade talks between Europe and the United States. Donald Trump, of course, threatening with more tariffs. What did the leader say regarding that?
Yeah, no decisions on this yesterday, but there was some interesting movement. Going into the summit, we had Germany's new Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, this is his first EU Council summit, saying that the Commission should not overcomplicate this, that they needed to do a quick and dirty deal. People interpreted that as him saying, okay, surrender to Trump so we can avoid this 50% tariff threat hanging over the EU. French President Emmanuel Macron was saying, no, stand firm, have a very robust response against U.S. services to make Trump back down. He only respects strength. However, yesterday we did see Macron seem to walk back from that a bit. He had previously insisted no EU deal without 0% tariffs. Now he was saying last night at his press conference that he could live with 10% tariffs, which are the base rate that's applying to the whole world, and the base rate that the UK accepted in its quick, dirty deal with the US. He also seemed to be suggesting that, the Commission could make some concessions and didn't need to have this very strong position that he was advocating before. Separately, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen shocked the room last night when she told the press conference that the EU should work toward creating an alternative to the World Trade Organization between the EU and East Asia's economies, basically shutting the US out. She looked like she even surprised the president of the council, Antonio Costa, with that remark. That's a very new idea, so we have to see what she really means by that. But so far, when I've been talking to national governments, they are very receptive, because what I keep hearing from them over and over is the WTO is broken, and pretending it isn't going to get us anywhere.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Dave Keating reporting from Brussels.